The 7 deadly sins that can ruin even the best criminal case. Number 1, picking up a new case while you're on bond or released on your own recognizance for the first case. You see, when you are arrested and you are released, you basically make a deal with the judge that you will not pick up any other cases. And if you do, you're going to go back to jail on the first case. So this happens all the time. People get released and then they pick up a second case and then they pay the bond on the second case. They still go back to jail for the first case because of the conditions they made with that judge. And when you are in jail, well, you're at a serious negotiating disadvantage and the prosecutors know that. And so a great case becomes a not so great case when someone's sitting in jail and they want to get out and can't force to go to trial the next week. There's a fast and speedy rule in Indiana, but it's 70 days. Nobody wants to be in jail. So great cases become not so great cases when someone's sitting in jail. Don't do it. The second deadly sin that can ruin a great criminal case is not doing what your attorney says. If you hire an attorney, such as myself, we're going to give you a game plan with actionable items to do while the case is going on to make it better for yourself. For example, if you are facing a substance abuse crime, DUI, drug crime, we may have you get a substance abuse evaluation with an approved provider. Some people just don't do it. And it drives me crazy because that's something that we need. We don't tell people to do things for the fun of it. We do things because we want to make their case better or make the prosecutor more receptive to our arguments. So please do what your attorney asks. The third deadly mistake that can turn a great criminal case into a not so great criminal case. Talking about your case to anyone but your attorney. There's no confidentiality between random people, even your friends or your family. Don't talk about your case to anybody. If somebody asks you a question like, hey, I have an attorney. He says if I talk about the case, he's going to fire me. He's a real jerk. Blame me. I was a deputy prosecutor. I got phone calls all the time. Hello. Hey, you're the prosecutor in such cases, and I want to let you know they're still drinking. I was with them last weekend, and we shared 3 beers together. Hey, I'm such and such, and you're prosecuting my ex-boyfriend, and I have a picture of him drinking last week. Don't talk about your case. Don't assume people are your friends. I've had family members call me, even as a defense attorney. I want him in jail so he can learn his lesson. Here's what his strategy is. Don't talk about your case. Don't do things that are silly. Don't trust anybody when your criminal case is going on because you don't know what their motivations are. So don't talk about your case, anybody but your attorney. Number 4, this one is crazy, but I've had at least 15 cases where I thought were great. And because we had witnesses that would back up my client's version of events. I call my client, check in with them once every couple of weeks. Hey, how's it going? Is our witness still on track? No issues, right? You guys aren't fighting? Mark, me and that witness, we don't talk no more. I don't think he's going to be able to help us. What happened? I thought they were your best friend. I dated and broke up with his sister. I started dating his ex. I borrowed some money and I didn't pay him back. Just the list is endless. Please don't alienate your witnesses. I'm not telling you to do anything crazy or go back, bend over backwards for them, but don't actively alienate witnesses. I do have subpoena power through the court and I could drag someone to court theoretically, but that always backfires. If someone does not want to be there, they're not going to be helpful. Hey, were you with my client on the night of the incident? I don't remember. Was my client driving drunk that night? No, not that night, but he's driven drunk plenty of times before. Dragging a witness to court usually backfires spectacularly. It's not fun at all. It's horrible. So please don't alienate witnesses. Number 5, do not drive unless your license is valid. It's a huge one. We help a lot of people accused with intoxicated driving, people who have HTV, people who have specialized driving privileges. But basically, if you're not supposed to be driving, don't drive. If you're only supposed to be driving between certain hours, only drive for those certain hours. If you hired us to help you get a license, don't drive while we're trying to help you. When a person drives after a judge slams the gavel and says, don't drive, judges see that as direct challenge to their authority. And it usually does not end well for the person who's challenged the judge's authority. There are some judges here in central Indiana, if you get caught driving after they've slammed their gavel and say, don't drive, they want 30 days in jail. Please don't drive unless you are supposed to be driving. And I know that's a challenge. We live in central Indiana and we will do everything we can to get you driving as fast as possible. But if you're not supposed to be driving, do not drive. You do not want to be in a situation where a judge has you in jail. Because again, if you're in jail, negotiating power goes down significantly, and even a great criminal case turns into a not so great criminal case if the prosecutor knows they have a negotiating advantage over us. Don't do it. The 6th deadly mistake is Picking up pretrial violation. While pretrial violation may not be as bad as picking up a new charge, it's not good. So if a condition of your release is don't drink, don't drive, don't use recreational drugs, check in with somebody, do what you're supposed to be doing. Because again, if you don't do those things and you get caught, well, a judge is going to see that as a challenge to their authority. And while it may not be as bad as picking up a new case, some judges will hold you in jail until the case is over if you violate pretrial. Some judges are a little bit nicer than most, and if you violate pretrial conditions, okay, well, Mark, we'll put them in home detention now or some sort of crazy monitoring. Just don't do that because, again, if you are in jail, if you have some sort of crazy monitoring situation, a great case can become a not-so-great case if you're being pressured and the prosecutor knows they have an advantage over you. So don't pick up pretrial violations. The seventh deadly mistake to turn a great case into a not-so-great case is violating a no-contact order. With some cases, judges will impose a no-contact order. Hey, as a condition of your release, you're not supposed to have contact with A, B, and C. Maybe they're an alleged victim, maybe they're a witness, maybe they're who knows. But if a judge says don't contact these people, well, don't contact them. Don't indirectly, not directly, whatever. Don't do it. Don't send them messages, including smoke signals, texts, none of that. Don't do it because if you get caught doing that, it's going to be a new criminal charge. They're going to hold you in jail on the original case, kind of like the picking up a new charge, but then it just looks terrible. Some of these cases are easier to fight than if there was a police officer witness. But again, if you're in jail, great case becomes not so great case if you're sitting behind bars in a cage trying to negotiate with the prosecutor. But that is just a really hard situation. And then sometimes people with no contact orders, the alleged victims, well, they're the ones initiating the contact. But then when someone responds, they're quick to call the police. Be careful. And if somebody reaches out to you, they are subject to no contact, or you're not supposed to reach out to them, well, they can reach out to you. They're not supposed to, but they can. It's not a crime. But if you respond, you call, if you see, that's a crime, and it's going to be problematic for you, and it's going to be bad. So those are the 7 deadly sins that can turn a great criminal case into a not-so-great criminal case. If you have any questions, concerns, give me a call, 317-632-3642. We love criminal defense here at the Marc Lopez Law Firm. We'll talk about it all day. But most importantly, remember to always plead the fifth.